Scotty, look how cute you are.
Everyone. As cuddly as he is, he does not like being close to the face. So when you try to hold him close to his face, he jumps down. Good morning, everyone.
All right, well, good morning for breakfast and basketball, or Breakie and basketball. I guess we can go ahead and get started. That's how I feel this morning. This is it.
I feel too.
Oh, especially since we have a game tonight and it's an away game. Maybe we'll do what we did last year and just be like complete road warriors the whole season, but then like at home struggle. I hope so. Not.
So here we are. Well,
anyway,
this is what I've been wearing like the last 2 days, and today I'm decorate. Yesterday I cleaned. Today I'm going to decorate, put up my Christmas tree. Got my little Christmas table set.
Wonderful.
That's my day for today. It's very exciting.
That sounds fantastic. My day includes this. Well, let me back up. Waking up, since that's important. Having my bowl of Count Chocula.
Oh,
delicious. The only cereal I will eat normally is Count Chocula, and it's only during Halloween when that cereal comes out. So I buy like a bunch of boxes and then just like save it up throughout the year. That's so juvenile of me, but I don't care. I don't care.
You know what my favorite cereal is? Fruit Loops.
Oh, okay. Fruit Loops is good. Fruit Loops is good. I do fucks with some Fruit Loops. So after this, I'll probably have to decorate for a while, according to Tess. And then we have the lighted Christmas parade downtown in Nacogdoches tonight. So that means the brewery will be overrun with people, which means two things. One, good content for socials, and two, it's going to be crazy busy behind the bar, so I'll probably have to hop on the bar at some point. So, yeah, that's my adventure for today.
Now McGonagall's talking to us.
Oh, God. Good morning, McGonagall. Good morning.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh.
Well, y'all can't see him yet. There he is.
Goodness gracious.
Well, sorry, didn't mean to show his butt, but now he's gone. All right. Okay. So a little late, but we are going to talk to y'all about Wednesday night. Bummer of a game. First game of WAC play. First game back in the Sawmill after the Caymans.
I was really, really hoping that, we'd come back from the Caymans and with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder because of that last game.
I know.
Versus Utah, and kind of realize, okay, we've been exposed. We see our weaknesses now. We know where we're struggling. We know what we need to do. Heard they had great days of practice. Heard Miles was like kicking butt in practice. And then we get to the game and it's like,
what? Yeah, not that.
Yeah. So I don't want to dwell too much on it, but we got to talk about it at some point. So let us go into it.
Here we go. So we're playing Tarleton, which, I feel like is kind of one of our new nemesis. I wouldn't call them a rival yet, but
they're getting there.
But I feel like they're a little bit of a nemesis. Anywho, okay, so history and background going into this game, our matchup history with them, we had 10 wins and 2 losses. Our last matchup was last season at home, but it was actually in January. We won 65-60. Our largest margin of victory was 126-86 back in 1972. Smallest margin of victory was last season, the 65-60.
All right, well, let me pull up the WAC standings because they're not great. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. The current WAC standing, well, for us anyway, the current WAC standings are as follows. With, again, shocker of the century, California Baptist is leading the pack at 6-1. I don't know what they did in the offseason, who they picked up. I don't know. But now they're just kicking ass. But also I don't know who they've already played. So that also may sort of, standing on that. When I look at California Baptist's schedule, they played San Francisco State, Jackson State. They beat Jackson State.
Wow.
I know. They lost to Portland State. They won St. Thomas, won Cal Poly, won Vanguard University, that's in California, and won at Southern Utah. And they beat Southern Utah by a very wide margin, like 30 points.
Wow. I'm shook.
Same. So I don't know. I guess we're seeing a whole new, brand new, California Baptist, which, I mean, cool, some more competition in the WAC, but also cool, more competition in the WAC.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, California Baptist is in the front at 6-1. Then you got Grand Canyon, of course, always at the top usually. At 5-1, you got Tarleton at 5-2, just because obviously they just won versus us. And then Utah Valley as well at 5-2. UT Arlington also last year they were struggling. Now they're doing obviously a little bit better. UT Arlington 4-3, Seattle U 4-3, and then of course you have us at 4-3 as well. You got three teams at 4-3, so a three-way tie for what is that? Sixth place, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, sixth place. And then after us, you have Utah Tech at 3-3, so batting 500 there. Abilene Christian 3-4, Southern Utah at 2-4, and UTRGV at 2-6. So that's how the WAC standings are kind of shaking up as of now. We've only had, I believe, everyone has played at least one WAC game. The only school that has not played a WAC game is Utah Tech. So, yeah. So they're the only ones that haven't played a conference matchup yet, and I'm assuming it's coming up soon. Let me quickly look at their schedule. Actually, yes, it's today. So today they're playing Utah Valley. So after today, everyone will have played at least one conference game. And we know like conference is starting earlier this year, and that's just because of, losing two schools and basically we're playing like 20 games of conference matchup. So that's just, we have to start earlier in regards to the schedule, which is weird. And it's really weird having a conference matchup prior to Christmas. So
yeah, before December even starts.
I know. It's just strange, very strange. I don't know how to feel about it. But again, regardless if it's a conference matchup or if it's just like some old regular Joe, we still have to go out there and not lose at home. Ooh.
I know.
Especially in this new way that they seed us in the WAC tournament. Home losses kick your butt.
Yeah. Agreed.
Anyway. Oh, goodness. Crazy cat lady.
He just can't make a decision on what he wants to do. Anyway, all right. So let's go over the game notes. We had same starters as we have the last couple games. Non-Atrell, AJ, Jalil, and Matt. We lost by just 2 points, 68-66. The attendance was 2,032. Kind of bummed for our guys on that attendance for the first WAC game. So hopefully.
Well, and again, I one day I'm gonna literally just sit down and count because there's just no way 2,000 people were in that stadium. Maybe I'm just a bad judge of numbers. Math is not my strong suit, so that's also a possibility. I don't know. I'm just, it's a Wednesday night. It is a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, basically 7 o'clock, even if you get there late. What else are you doing? What else are you doing? This Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday night game, there literally better be double that. There better be 4,000 people in those stands because it's a Tuesday night. What else are you doing? Students, what else are you doing on a Tuesday night during dead week? You're not studying.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
Like, been there, done that.
As a college student at one point and as a college professor currently, I know for a freaking fact.
Yeah, we both know both ends of that. Ain't happening.
Exactly. So it's a Tuesday night. What are you doing? Nothing. 2 hours. 2 hours of your time. That's all we ask. Anyway. Rick is saying hello, ladies.
Hey, Rick. He texted me they got their first snow.
All right. I'm sure it's pretty cold up there. I love that for y'all.
Okay. Sean Kennedy's stat section. They're not great. So buckle up.
Didn't think so.
Okay. Field goal percentage was 38.6. 3-point percentage was 25%. Free throw wasn't even super great at 65.4.
Oh, we've had worse, but okay.
Points in the paint was like in the middle ground of what we want with 32. Points off turnovers, we had 13. Second chance points, 16. Fast break points, we had 13. Our bench points were great, 41. And our rebounds were a hell of a lot more than what I expected, with 44. And we out-rebounded them by 7, which is shocking to me.
Didn't feel like it. Didn't feel like it one iota.
Here's the thing. We got lucky on getting those rebounds because the whole game I was yelling, why are we not blocking out?
Yeah, again, like during the game, I don't know. I guess just during the game, it just doesn't feel like when we look at these stats, or when I look at the stats at least, like sometimes I get extremely just blown away because either I feel like, oh my God, there's way less rebounds in game, or it just felt like we kept like blocking the ball. I mean, we had 4, but still like it felt like it just feels different, I guess, in the game. And then when you look at the stats, you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially for me, because playing basketball, my God, we had it drilled into our head every possession. You better be blocking out. So, like, in my mind, from getting coached that way, like, boxing out equals rebounds. So they were rebounding. They just weren't blocking out. So it didn't
and just looking at the stats, since we're still in Sean Kennedy stat section, technically, looking at our, points in the paint, points off turnovers, looking at fast break points, like they're not that much different from theirs.
No.
Like our fast break points 13, theirs were 13 too. We had way more bench points than they did. Their points in the paint were only a few more than ours, 38. We had 32.
And their field goal percentage was only 2% higher than ours. We were pretty closely matched on everything.
Everything except for free throws. I can't talk it.
They also shot only 25% from the arc, but they were a good, not good at math, 8% higher than us on free throws. So that was the game changer.
That's the game changer right there. Is just exactly that's the game. Free throws, 100%.
But anyhow, all right.
Oh God, y'all, Knack Nanny is watching.
Hey, Tess. So out of the 44 total rebounds, we had 19 offensive boards, 25 defensive boards, and that's the first time that we've had them that closely split too. I will say that. Usually we have a way more defensive than offensive boards, so we got quite a bit more offensive boards this game. We had 19 fouls, which they also had 19 fouls. So, I mean, we had the same opportunities at the line pretty much as they did. We had This was the only other stat where they beat us by quite a few. We had 17 turnovers. They only had 11.
Yeah.
We had 4 steals and 4 blocks. So our game leaders, special little shout out to Frank. Sad it was on a loss, but still just as special for him. Personal achievement. He scored 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal, and that pushed him into the 1,000 point club for his career.
Let's go, Frank! Man, I've been hyping him up on socials. Every single time I see that graphic, just Frank.
Yeah, very special. So really excited for that. We had Nana with 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. Day something in every stat line: 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal. CC almost got a double-double: 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block.
So again, like looking at these stats, like it doesn't look like we had a horrible game. It looks like a run-of-the-mill average game.
I know.
Us and Tarleton very evenly matched when it comes to defense, and man, oh man, they just had us on the free throws. We just couldn't sink them. And again, that's the game. That's the game right there. And that's so like basic concept. You gotta make your free throws.
Yeah.
Like good God Almighty. I don't get it.
Me neither, but there I have a few other, when we get there, I have a few other grievances that were what set us back.
Agreed, for sure.
Like my high school coach said, every little mistake is one little mistake by itself, but it adds up to one big pile of shit at the end. So it could have been any of the ones, unfortunately. All right, so we certainly agree on player of the game for this game.
100%. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Our boy Frank.
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. I know that's someone else's, Frank Kaminsky, I believe it was, for Wisconsin many years ago. That was his nickname. But that was many years ago. So I feel like we can easily bring that name back.
Yeah.
Because everybody called him Frank the Tank. Like even people that weren't even Wisconsin fans. Like I wasn't even a Wisconsin fan, and I called him Frank the Tank.
Was not even close to a Wisconsin fan, and
exactly. So I feel like he's been out of college for enough time. Like we can bring back Frank the Tank for our boy Frank Stain. It just makes sense. It just feels right. It just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely Frank. Shout out to Frank. We love you, Frank. I just want to keep saying Frank because I really don't want to talk about. I'm kidding. All right, we got to get through it. So, go ahead, baby girl.
All right. So I actually do have some really good feats of strength. We had a lot of people make some really good plays, and I kind of just broke them down by player or by type of play, like I usually do. So some highlights for Frank, since he was our player of the game. We'll let him go first. He had a beautiful assist to Clayton that was just he had one like soaring in from nowhere putback that was great. He had an amazing 3. He was 5 of 6 from the free throw line. I mean, he had a great game.
He did. I'd said, what game was it? Was it a Cayman game? Mm-hmm. I was like, man, that was Frank's coming out party.
Yeah.
Frank just went off. Can't wait to see more of that. And I think that just kind of continued into this game as well. He really, really woke up during that game in the Caymans. And so I think that this is he's just going to continue improving and getting better in this system. Because obviously we saw him at Utah last year just absolutely destroying everybody. And we were so tired of it. And Frank, I don't mean to bring this up again. I know you told us not to talk about it again. Not us, just people in general. But like when he was with that other team, we'll say that team over there, just absolutely we got tired of hearing his name because he was just killing us. Boards, threes, assists, you name it. He was doing it.
Yeah.
So now that he's on our side and our team, which we're so thankful for because we love his energy and his attitude, and that's my biggest strength, I think, for that game for him too, was not only his play, but his attitude during the game. You could just tell that he was doing his best to fire everybody else up on the court. Anytime there was a timeout, anytime there was a moment of stoppage and play, if he was on the bench or on the court, he was just smiling, clapping, trying to get people and the team riled up. And sometimes that is, to me, more of a strength than even playing well on the court, because that always is there. Like, the fire is always there. You're not always going to have a great game. So I love that from him. I really do. We need more of that on the team. Not saying that everybody on the team is like Debbie Downers. We know that for sure that they're not. But just having more of that positive energy is something that I really, really love from Frank. And seeing that early on is very, very good. I love that.
I totally agree. He repeated his little gift clap that you got of him in the Caymans a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Even, engaged with the crowd. Like, come on, like we're starting to get heated up. Like,
right.
And I do love that, because there's a big difference between, like, I hate when players are really like I don't know what the word is I'm trying to use, but like cocky about trying to get, fans like or whatever. But like, you can tell a difference when they're like, hey, like, we're getting excited, like, get into it with us and let's pump it up. And that's totally what he does. And I love it. So you're right. Exactly that. And especially since it's so early in the season of his first season with us, that he's that, that engaged with getting his teammates and our fans pumped up.
We've heard him talk many, many times already about the fan engagement difference between us and his previous team, which kind of surprised me when he first started talking to us about it. But now, like, thinking back, it kind of, I guess, checks out. Maybe not so much like student side, but I guess community side. He's just blown away at how much the community itself loves the team and supports the team. We just need to show them that by coming to the games more often. So, the guys notice these things. They notice it, they see it, they feel it. And I don't know. Again, what are you doing Tuesday night at 6:00? Nothing.
I know.
Okay.
So one more that's kind of on him, or branches off from him, because let's see. Like I said, Frank was 5 of 6 from the free throw. Even though our free throw percentage wasn't ideal, we did have several players who were doing really well up there. Nana was 4 of 4. AJ was 2 of 2. Frank 5 of 6. CC was 2 of 3. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the greatest. And what also doesn't show on the stat sheet is players who missed the front end of a 1-and-1.
Yes.
And so we had more opportunities for free throws than what shows on the stat sheet, because they just didn't get that second one. So
very true. Good point. Kyle would like to throw in his 2 cents. Wow. Up early this morning. Hopefully that means you're driving to Stephenville after the game. No.
It's not in Stephenville, Kyle. It's in Abilene today. Abilene's much farther than Stephenville. Not happening.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind going to an at ACU game in Abilene. I really wouldn't. I like driving, as we all know. I love driving. I love driving and going to away games and driving to, new places that I haven't really been before, which I've never been to Abilene. I probably driven through it, but never stopped there. But there's just too much going on today. There's just no way.
Too many things happening. I have been on the road all over Texas and to the Caymans last 2 weeks. I gotta sit my ass at home for a few days and not doing anything.
Yeah, if I can just stay around Nacogdoches this weekend and not do anything, that would be great, which I fully intend and plan on doing. So it's literally just home, brewery, home, brewery. That's it. That's all I got. My mother says, hugs for my guys. I'll be there. We know you'll be there, Testa. She's finally figured out how to watch this on Facebook and comment. So cheers to Tess.
Hey, Kyle is up early because he's like 2 or 3 hours behind us.
I think it was 1 to 2 hours. I don't even know. Well, that boy's up early anyway. He's up early hustling for the whack.
Let's see. So what else do I have?
I do have a couple good notes. Again,
okay.
I didn't take a lot of notes during the game. I have a total of 5 notes.
Okay.
2 of which are need to work on us stuff. 2 of which are good. 1 of which is a big grievance towards Tarleton, but we'll get there. One of them was, and Day, you know how much I love you. This is a good one, I promise. I'm just laughing because I have to say it the way I wrote it. And he already knows this because I've told him before. I told him in the Caymans when we were all hanging out in the pool. I was like, Day, whenever I say this in the podcast, I promise you this is not like supposed to be like dirty in any way. But he made another sexual move to that basket. Like it was so smooth. It was another one of those like he did like a 360 like spin layup. Oh God.
I put Day the magical moves as always, and then he had that cleanup slam too. But
yes. Oh,
if you love basketball, then Day is one of the top players for you to watch because the smooth as butter moves that he makes that just out of nowhere against, and we've said it for seasons, but I think he's listed as like 6'3" or 6'4" or something, and he plays like he's 6'10", making these just beautiful moves down there against dudes that are
so strong,
half a foot taller than him. It's everything you could ever imagine it to be.
He is so strong to that basket. It amazes me. And I don't know why, because we've seen him do it for years, but every time he does it, it makes me just jaw drop. It blows my mind every time. And it shouldn't, because I'm used to it. We're used to it, but still, it's just magical every single time. So Day, don't stop, never stop. Keep making those moves to the basket, because every time you do it, my freaking jaw hits the floor and I'm like, this guy is
it's a smoothness that can't be taught. Like you either have it or you don't. Because you have to have the court presence and awareness to know where your defender is at all times, to see the opening to try to make the move in the first place, and then you got to have the elegance and the smoothness to actually make the move and not just fumble it. So to have both and it come off looking that good, especially when you're not the size of the guys you're making the moves against, it's magical. It's like Disney World.
Oh, completely. So my other good note that I wanted to make sure he got his flowers was my boy Jelani. I say my boy, he's our boy. They're all our boys. But Jelani came in, played for 11 minutes. He only had 2 points, but he had a disgusting block. Disgusting. Like, it was magic.
Him and Cece both had a disgusting block, and
always have disgusting blocks. Like, I don't ever have to like jaw hit floor when Cece has blocks now, because I feel like he blocks like that's like second nature to him now.
Right. Well, I told him after the first few games, I was like, okay, now you've like set a precedent. You got to have a sick block every game, and I think he's pretty much had one every single game. That's like
pretty much. But man, that block by Jelani. And so Jelani's lovely lady sits right behind us during the game, typically. What now?
Savannah is her name.
You're so good at remembering names. I'm horrible at remembering names. Anyway, yes, Savannah. She's adorable, first of all. She cheers so hard for her band. I love it so much. Gotta love a supportive queen. Anyway, the whole time during the game, I turned around at one point. I was like, all I want for Christmas is Jelani to just make a sick, disgusting, like, dunk, put everyone on post. Like, I just want him to do that because, as soon as that happens, this place is going to erupt. It didn't happen this game. It didn't happen this game, but I have a feeling it's building. It's building, and it's going to get there, and it better be at home. If it's an away game, I'm going to be so pissed off. But he had a disgusting ball. I feel like, again, like the more minutes that boy is getting, the better he's going to be. So if we can remember, he's one of the transfers that came from in conference. So he came from California Baptist. Okay.
Was he California Baptist?
Yeah, he was. That's what. Yeah, he said. I said I was. Yeah.
Oh, so I thought you forgot. Sorry.
No. It's okay. So anyway, he's the transfer from CBU, and they did not appreciate that boy at all. Mm-hmm. They didn't play him. They didn't give him any sort of like props, any sort of playing, nothing. So we have to remember that he didn't have a lot of playing time and experience necessarily in a D1 WAC or, games. He doesn't have a lot of that. So he's still learning. He's still getting there. But I feel like the more he's in, like the times that he's been in, he's increasingly gotten better. Just every game we've seen him in, he's gotten better and better and better and better. He looked really good for those 11 minutes on Wednesday night. I love what we're seeing from him. Just need to see more of it. And I feel like at least by middle of the season, say January, he's going to be lights out. And Jelani, I'm putting that challenge on you. I want to see just a disgusting, like either a pick and roll or breakaway, just like dunk, putting people on post. That is my challenge to you, sir.
Yeah, he was awesome. We were giving Savannah lots of high fives because every time he came in, even if it was just for like one possession for one purpose, he immediately like just put everyone to shame. It was amazing. Let's see. Okay, so one note I forgot on Frank. I said he had an amazing three, but the one that he made at the end was like clutch, and it almost. It gave us the opportunity.
Yeah, he kept us in the game. He was keeping us in the game as best he can. He had the hot hand, and I get it. When you got the hot hand, you got the hot basket. You got to leave him in. And that's. I'm in. That's great. I'm fine with it. So not only did he have a great shooting game, he also had a pretty decent defensive game. He had a steal in there. He had very low turnover percent. He had none. He had 0 turnovers, which is great as well. Being in for 21 minutes and not having a single turnover, good stuff. Good ball protection there. Love that. Huge asset. And he had low personal fouls too. Again, like when you're in for that long, you would expect to have more fouls. We really didn't have that many. We only had one guy foul out. The rest were all like 1, 2, 1. We didn't have any foul trouble at all except for Chemo. That's it. I didn't even know Chemo fouled out.
No, he didn't. That's assist. He only had 1 foul.
Oh, fuck. I'm reading the wrong line. See, even then, we weren't really in. Oh, I was reading the wrong line the whole time.
Yeah, no one fouled out. CC had 4 and Nana had 3. Those were the only like close to foul troubles we had.
Oh, and Jaleel had 3. That was it.
Okay. Let's see. A few more little good notes. Okay. I'm sorry I forgot it's an ACU, my bad. But if you're not going to go to Abilene today, maybe you should come to Orem in February. Just saying. I've been to NAC 3 times now. So, yeah, LOL. We are going to try to come up there and see you, Kyle. So
I honestly would. I would take a long weekend and go up there. I really would.
On a weekend?
Yeah, there's like a Utah stretch where it's either a game on a Thursday and then a game on a Saturday.
But is the one at his school on the Saturday?
Oh, snap. Let me look. Continue talking. I'll look.
Okay. Your bad man, CC. One more note on him. He scored one time in the lane against a triple team. It was
bad man.
Amazing. Several good notes on Nana too, because he had a great game. He also scored down low against a triple team. He got a slam. He had a beautiful reverse layup that I commented on during the game. I was like, love to see it. Love to see it. So smooth. Let's see. Chemo was shooting great from the three. He had 2. What else? Okay, Trell didn't play a whole lot of minutes. 21. Well, I mean, not for him. But he had a great game. So few notes on him. We're used to seeing him shoot the three. He had a beautiful drive that he just took it all the way in, got an and one. He made a way out 3-pointer. He had one amazing assist into Nana that was just, I love to see a beautiful assist pass. And that's the end of my feats of strength.
Beautiful feats of strength. And yes, so the game at Utah Valley is on the Saturday.
Okay. Well, Kyle, we'll work on it.
We'll work on it because at the moment, I don't have anything that weekend except for that game to watch, whether it be here or in person. So if we can make it happen, Kyle, you'll be the first to know. Oh, we might need to stay at your house.
Can we crash on the couch? We'll put a mattress.
We're balling on a budget, Kyle. You know, we got to save money for Vegas. So, you know, if we can make it happen, we got to either sleep in our car or sleep on a couch or get a cheap Motel 6. Or...
Might be too cold in February to sleep in the car in Utah, I would imagine.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank God for you, because sometimes I just don't even think through things logically. I'm like, yeah, I just spontaneously let's just go. Let's just go and figure it out when we get there. Oh my God. I wouldn't mind that though. I wouldn't mind seeing Utah in February, to be fair. Okay, so on to the grievances. Got a lot of problems.
Is the clip gonna work this time?
Probably not. Here, I'll pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, cool.
I'll pull it up on my phone. Because for some reason it doesn't want to work, and that's fine. Let's see. Airing grievances. It's the first one, obviously, because I've watched it 1,000 times. Literally 1,000 times. Oh, wait.
Watch football all season long, live and cable free.
Skip.
Here they serve us ads.
What?
Nothing is a card from my dad.
Dear son, happy
People, now the tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about it.
You, Kroger. So in the spirit of the Christmas season, aka Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us. So
Grievances.
I'll start the first one, and this is in my opinion what caused the outcome of the game. We started off way too slow, and we got to stop doing this because
that was my first note.
It's great that we're a second half team and that we can come back, but we shouldn't continue setting ourselves up to where we have to just claw and scratch our way back into this game. We only had 7 points at the 12-minute media. So within 8 minutes, we only scored 7 points.
Yeah.
That is not going to set us up for a good opportunity to win a game.
For a D1 top mid-major program that we want to be, that is not acceptable. I'm just going to be honest. It's just not. When you have that, I'm glad you said that. That was my first note as well. The slow start on both offense and defense, too. Normally, it's just one or the other. This time, it was both. We were letting them score everything under the sun, and then we couldn't get nothing to save our lives. So both offensive, defense, just slow starts. Unfathomable. Just unfathomable. I don't get it. We got to figure that out. We really do, because even in the games that we ended up winning at the end of the day, okay, fine. But still, we wouldn't have to scrawl, like you said, scratch, claw, fight tooth and nail to get to that point. I mean, some of those games are fun, great, good entertainment quality. But do I want that every single game? My voice. It's scratchy.
Yeah.
My voice can't handle this, guys. Literally, I could barely cheer on Wednesday night because my voice is still recovering from the Cayman Islands trying to cheer there. Like, I can't do this every game. I can barely talk.
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes in before we even had a field goal. For the longest time, we had 1 point from a free throw. Like we gotta come out ready to score a little bit earlier than that. That puts us at such a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if we started out the game the way that we normally finish a game, we would be beating most of the people we play by 20 points. But we're setting ourselves at such a disadvantage from the beginning that it's like, even if we do win, we have to just work so damn hard to even get back in the game.
Yeah. And like I said, every once in a while, having a really close back and forth game where, like I said, evenly matched, I don't mind that because it keeps things interesting. Like, man, we even talked about this years ago. Like, do I always want a blowout? No, but every once in a while it'll be great. Every once in a while it'll be great. Like I know in WAC play, asking for blowouts is very is a hard ask. But every once in a while, I would just like to just whoop a team by 30 points.
At this point, I would just be happy with not having a down to the wire last minute play game.
Yeah, that too.
I'd be happy with like a 10-point win. Just where
I'd be happy with something. A win's a win at the end of the day, and we obviously our goal is to just take dubs, no matter how we get there. But at the same time, like Jacqueline's saying, if this disadvantage at the beginning is just not fun. It's not fun for y'all, I'm sure. It's not fun for us in the stands. It makes for very, very anxiety-driven basketball. After the game on Wednesday, had multiple people come up to us and say, we can't do this again. Like their hearts can't take it. Their anxiety can't take it. And I'm like, I get it. I know. We're struggling over here too.
Yeah, wish we could help you. So another grievance I had, hey, Jose, you're up early. Are you brunching?
He's probably mimosing and brunching.
Must be. We were missing you in the Caymans. It would have been a even wilder trip.
God, we would have never came home if he was in the Caymans.
We might not have made it out alive. That might have been just too much.
No, we would have never made it. Jose, I'm gonna be texting you this week because I'm almost ready to send out your bottle of Stone Fort to you. So I had to find more bubble wrap to wrap it up so that it wouldn't break. So be ready to send me that Venmo for the bottle plus interest
plus shipping
plus interest plus a storage fee. I'm gonna send you an invoice. Yeah, I know.
So another grievance I had, even though we didn't have an absolute ton of fouls in the game overall, we had a lot of fouls early. Within the first minute, we had already fouled twice. And I'm like, come on, guys, that doesn't help getting a fast start either. We keep stopping and starting and fouling and having to sub out because, as soon as someone fouls within 30 seconds, Keller's going to sub them out. So then that gets...
It was like AJ, boom, boom, out, sat. And he was sitting for a huge amount of time.
That doesn't get us off to a good start.
Yeah. So I'll bring up one of my biggest grievances, and it's not even about our team. Well, one of the biggest grievances I have is not about our team. The other one is Tarleton. The flopping has got to stop. Got to stop. But what irritates me more than them doing it so much were the refs not giving any sort of warning. There were multiple small ones. I was like, okay, those could pass. Okay, I'll give the break there. But there were a handful at least that were obvious attempts to flop. And I'm like, just give the warning already. As soon as you do that, it'll stop. And I mean, come on, it's just ruining the integrity of the game. Like, I hate that. I hate flopping in any sport. It's just dumb, 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 dumb.
I completely agree. And one of my grievances that can tie into that on some occasions was had this like team of officials never heard of a cylinder foul? Because
Yes.
they didn't call one the whole game. And sometimes those tie into flops too, because the player will get in the cylinder and then like overact,
Mm-hmm.
Getting caught. And the cylinder foul is if you're in the offensive player's face to either take a shot, pivot, or put the ball on the floor to dribble and contact is made and you're not set, then that's a foul on you. And they were not calling it. And as a player, I hated that because they were double teaming us to the point where, they were all up in the cylinder. Our guys couldn't breathe, and the refs weren't calling anything.
They didn't call it in the Caymans either. So I don't know if this is just a worldwide moratorium on, hey, we're just not going to call this foul anymore, or...
I don't like, as a player, I hated that because that and like hand checking, like that's just lazy defense. Like, get down in a good defensive stance and move your feet. You don't need to be having your hip on my hip or your hand on my jersey constantly. Like, buy me a drink first. We're not going out. Like I don't want people touching me. Just get down in a defensive stance and play defense. Very annoying.
No, I completely agree. We noticed that happened a lot during the game on Wednesday and also a lot. And then also, of course, like I said, in the Caymans, it happened a few times as well. And it's just very frustrating, obviously on the fan side. But of course, I can only imagine what it would be like on the player side to completely get fouled numerous times and the ref is standing right there looking at you.
Yeah, it's not fun. And it gets very frustrating. And that's when tempers get flaring and tensions get high.
For sure.
Back to the basics of refereeing. That's their number one mission in that game, is to control the safety and security. So if you're not going to call stuff and then it starts getting dirty back and forth and you got a situation on your hands, which didn't happen Wednesday night. I'm just saying that's the point of why they're supposed to keep a lid on stuff. Right.
No, completely. And that just goes back to my issue with the amount of I have. So let me curb that hyperbole there. But there were just so many instances of Tarleton players just flying onto the court, just egregiously and just dramatically just onto the court. And I was like, this is just getting a little ridiculous, just a little ridiculous. All they have to do is just give a warning, say, hey guys, knock it off, flop warning. That's all you have to do. That's it. Just a couple words. That's it. And that was just very frustrating to watch, of course, on the fan side, just, seeing, and of course, we've talked about this a million times. I'm not going to beat it with a dead horse again. Like, we know the refs are human. They're not going to see everything, but come on. When you see a guy flailing like crazily on like a freaking inflatable, just like, ooh, and then like falling over onto the court. There's 3 of you. You mean none of y'all saw that?
I know.
Got it. Noted. Cool.
Was frustrating. My last grievance for like actually our guys, because I have another one that's not related to our dudes, but and like I said, when we start off to a slow start, then we have to just work so hard to get back into it. And then we get back into it. Then we let them go on a 15-0 run, probably because we were worn out from working our ass off to get back in. So.
Yeah. I know. That 15-0 run is inexcusable. Again, like having a slow start in the beginning on both sides, inexcusable. Having a whack team go on a 15-0 run versus one of the best defensive teams in the nation, inexcusable as well. It's just very frustrating because when you're sitting there knowing, You've seen it with your own two eyeballs, them play at elite levels, beating some of the best mid-major teams in the nation about a week ago, and then coming back, and then it's literally night and day. It's night and day.
Yeah.
Agreed. See? Agreed.
McGonagall agrees.
McGonagall agrees with me. I knew you would, sweet boy. And that's just frustrating. So my final grievance is it's just a question, rather. Like, I just have questions. First question is, again, going back, and now I'm looking at the right line about personal fouls. There really wasn't anyone, especially the top players on the team, who were in any sort of foul trouble. The only one who was in foul trouble was Christmas. That was it. Okay. He already played for 27 minutes, had 8 points. Day, 0 personal fouls. 0. AJ, 2. Trell, 2. Jaleel was 3, but I'm giving him a pass. He got a little injured at one point in the game, so that's why he wasn't really in as much anymore in the second half. So I think maybe he had maybe a muscle thing, or was cramping, or something that sidelined him majority of the time. So I'm not mad at that. I have just a major grievance with the fact that at the end of the game, when it's so close, when we are literally hanging on by the chin of our chinny chin chin here, that we have Trell, who is arguably one of the best 3-point shooters in the WAC, if not the best, biasly. AJ, our juice boy, who we know for a fact is just exceptional when the game's on the line. Okay. And Day, need I say more? On the bench at the end of the game, no foul trouble whatsoever, no injuries that they're nursing, to my knowledge. Why are they on the bench? Like, I get it. Leave Frank in. He has the hot hand. Fine. Okay. You need a big guy out there. So needed to have either Nana or Clayton or Jelani. Got it. Okay. But then why not have the 3 best point guards on our team in the fucking WAC? Excuse my French. Not in the game.
Inquiring minds want to know.
That's just my question. Like, if there's a legitimate, logical reason for it, cool. Just tell me. Just tell the world, because we're not the only ones asking.
Not even close.
If you were on social media, on Twitter, aka X, I'll never call it X, on Wednesday night after the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Every single dedicated fan who knows ones and twos and X's and O's about Lumberjack basketball had the same question. And it's just, again, if there's a legit reason, like if they were in foul trouble, okay. If one of them had a tweak or an injury, okay. But from our vantage point and everyone else's, just
confusing,
just mind-boggling, flabbergasting.
Yeah.
I wish I knew the reason why, because why, when the game is on the line, you don't have literally the 3, and again, not saying that the other guys aren't good in their own way, but those are our vets. Like, and they're the best scorers on the what are we doing? Anyway, that's just my grievance, man.
Point to ponder. So my last grievance, this has absolutely nothing to do, like, on the side of our players, but and Alex and y'all know I hardly ever frequent Twitter. I don't really tweet. I don't check stuff, and I purposely did not respond.
Oh, here we go. I already know what it's about.
Purposely did not respond to this person simply because I make a habit of not commenting or engaging with mean burner accounts because I don't want to give them any air. Like, I don't want to give them any engagement, any attention. They need to just go away. But mean burner accounts that tag our players can literally jump in a volcano because you look dumb. You wouldn't have the balls to even say that to my face, much less one of the guys. And you look stupid if you're going to literally at one of our players for missing a free throw. Do you know how basketball works? Because let's look at the stats here. He's not the only one who missed a free throw. Tons of other players miss free throws. Like my coach said, every little mistake adds up to a big pile of shit. But the one mistake at the very end of the game does not win or lose the game. Any of the mistakes could have. So if you want to be mean and stupid and have a burner account to do just mean, hateful stuff, actually tagging the players, don't. I don't like it, but I'm not going to call you out because I'm not going to give you the attention. But I really did want to beat up whoever that was because
I know you texted me and you said, I wish I knew who that was so that you could go punch him in the face.
Because he did it multiple times. I'm not even going to say the player's name on here because he I hope he didn't. I'm sure he saw him, but I'm sure he let it just roll off his back. But it just makes me mad because he shouldn't have to see that. But
I hope he let it roll off his back because anytime you have a no-name burner account adding you on Twitter, you know that person obviously has nothing better to do with their life. So what's the point? What's the point being upset about it? But that's hard. That's hard to say. And sometimes college athletes or pro athletes internalize that stuff because they expect good and perfection, you know.
Right. Well, he tagged him like 3 times. I'm just like, dude, come on. Because here's the thing. We love a good funny burner account. If you're going to do a burner account, be funny. Do a parody account like our favorite Lumberjack Larry 69. Like
Big ass Larry 69.
It's okay to have a burner account if you're going to have fun with it and be funny and make us laugh. But if you're going to just do it because you're a little, you know what, and you want to like actually tag the players and say dumb, mean stuff, don't do it. You look like an idiot.
I concur. I almost responded, but I curbed it back.
Yeah, I really had like half a mind to, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give him any more air. And Lumberjack Larry had gone back and forth with him in like a funny way to make him look stupid. So that was appreciated.
Yeah. I think anytime anything happens like that, I'm just going to send like it to Lumberjack Larry and have him or her, I guess it could be a chick, have them handle it. And then we just stick to the X's and O's. And then if I really want to get involved, I'll just open my burner account and go for it.
Yeah.
Cheers. If you know, you know. I'm not Lumberjack Larry. Let me be clear. I mean,
be.
Maybe I am. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, Rob Myers just tweeted a cute little picture a little while ago about the Jacks doing their shoot around this morning.
Oh, let's see.
Jalil is dressed out, so obviously his little injury didn't affect him, so he's good. Okay, see?
Oh, thanks. Since my phone is super slow.
It's hard to.
Oh, yeah, no, we see it pretty clear.
Cool. There's Trail. There's nice. Coach. There's Dallas and Juice. Yeah.
Nice.
And then you got a Deal in the background. Oh, wait, crap. Other way, Alex. There's a Deal. What's up, a Deal?
What's up?
Love it. Okay. Fantastic. I also want to give a quick shout out. Oh, I'm sorry. No, let's finish this first and then I'll give a quick shout out. So one game to describe one game. Jesus Christ. I can't talk. It's too early. One word to describe the entire game. Go.
Tumultuous.
Good word. Mine was off. And the reason why I said off, just it feels like ever since the last game and came in, we've just been off rhythm wise. We've just been off a little bit flow wise. I don't know. It just didn't, once that Drake game was an extreme high, and then, we come into the Utah Tech game and it was just a complete 180, and we just haven't really rebounded in game for some reason. I don't know. And so I just hope that tonight we can get our flow back, playing against one of our emerging rivals for sure. In our area, in our conference. I don't know what I'm talking about. I really do think that ACU is a really good team. They're coached by one of our previous, I guess he was an assistant, right? Yeah. Under Underwood, Brett Tanner. So like we really, and of course, you got Antonio Bostic as one of the assistant coaches, who's a previous SFA Lumberjack basketball player. And so, I mean, we have a lot of ties to ACU. I have a lot of respect for that team. They're a great team, and it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle in their, pretty much brand new Coliseum.
No more bats.
No more bats. Did you see that there was another game? I don't know. I can't remember where it was, but it was on social media that they also had a bat problem in their arena. And it was so bad that the bats were like dive bombing the court during the game. And I literally retweeted it and quoted it and said, at ACU basketball, any assistance would be appreciated. Like, y'all have good experience with bats. I couldn't believe it. I was like, another team having bat issues? What is happening?
That is funny.
I know. Anyway, so it's gonna be a really good matchup, I think, tonight. These games have always been notoriously very close. Our defenses are kind of evenly, press you type school defenses. So it should be a really good game. And of course, obviously, we're rooting for the Jacks to come up victorious here. So if you're making your way to Abilene for the game, more power to you. Cheer on the Jacks. Obviously, they're both purple schools, so and white schools. So dress accordingly, I guess, is the right way to say that. But yeah, we got to get our flow back. We got to get our rhythm back. We got to get our mojo back. And we got to get our juice back. For sure. So, fingers crossed. Anywho, so quick shout out to, and that game's on tonight at 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so tonight at 5 on ESPN Plus. So if you can't obviously go to Abilene, fire up ESPN Plus and watch the game and cheer on the Jacks that way. Quick announcement is I would like to give a quick shout out to our Lady Jack volleyball team. Their season ended last night. This was their first at-large bid ever to the NCAA volleyball tournament, and they were playing Arkansas, which was like the number 3 team in the country. Didn't win a single set, but that last set they fought hard to stay in the game and just couldn't pull it out at the end. But they had a phenomenal season under, of course, the GOAT, Debbie Humphreys.
Okay. Oh, sorry. My cats are fighting. I meant to open the episode with that and I got sidetracked because of cats. Imagine that. But that was absolutely amazing. I mean, they're great every year. I'll say it every episode. If y'all have not been to a volleyball game in Shelton Gym, you must go immediately when they start back next season. Coach Humphreys is an amazing coach. She's just phenomenal. So good to watch. They're so fun to watch. Even if you don't understand volleyball, I don't really understand volleyball. It's so hype. The atmosphere is just crazy because it's in It's in Shelton Gym if you haven't been in. It's not in the Coliseum, so it's a much smaller, more intimate atmosphere. They're just so great. And, we were all sad that they went completely undefeated in conference play and then didn't win the WAC tournament, which, as y'all know, because we talk about it with basketball all the time, that's pretty much the only set way to get an auto bid in the tournament. And then they got their first at-large bid, which is
Big respect.
it wasn't surprising since they got the at-large bid that they got paired up against such a high seed. But just amazing that they got it. And, that's awesome. And they played and fought hard, and we're very proud of them. So that's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you would have watched that last set, you would, if you would have watched that last set last night on ESPN Plus, you would know that they fought to the bitter end of that game. They never gave up. They played lights out. The first set was not great. They lost 25-8. Yeah, not great. Second set did a lot better, 25-17. And then that third set, man, like I said, it was tied at one point, 22-22. And then there were multiple challenges on SFA side because there was a lot of tipped balls and stuff. And so, it was a great final set. We fought to literally the end. Just didn't have enough in the tank. And I think it's just wild because, and you know this too, that game was at Arkansas. So the entire stadium was Arkansas fans, except for the two little rows that were purple. So, come on. Talk about home field advantage, man.
Yeah.
That just stinks. And they had the biggest crowd in school history at that game last night. So we had a lot of things rolling against us, but again, proud of them for fighting. And obviously there will be more goodness coming from Lady Jack Volleyball. So keep cheering for them on. All right. So I think that about covers it. Only last thing I want to mention is the holiday season is coming up and got to do some Christmas shopping, don't you? So there's two different ways to get into the holiday season and get some lumberjack gear. First off is by going to My Plates. When you go to My Plates and you go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks, you can look and potentially get you some awesome branded SFA license plates. I'm really tired of seeing A&M plates on the road. What's the other one? Texas Tech. I'm not going to say UT because those are our big daddy. So I love UT now. Anyway, so it's a classic win-win. You get the sweet plate. You show your SFA pride. And then did you know that the athletic teams get 50% of that purchase price? It's actually a pretty sweet deal. If you're a real fan, you have a My Plate. When you purchase a 5-year personalized SFA purple plate from My Plates, SFA Athletics takes in almost $250 from that purchase. It's a Stephen F. awesome way to support the teams. When you renew that 5-year term, SFA gets nearly $400. That's a lot of moolah. But if you're not into paying $500 right up front, that's fine. They also have 1-year and 3-year terms. You can easily buy a SFA My Plate if you already have a My Plate and just change it from the current design that you have to the SFA design. So that's also a possibility and an option as well. Or if you, again, out of your budget, like ours, we ball on a budget. You can't afford it all at once. Well, darn it, you do a layaway program and pay it over 5 months. Boom, boom, boom. Get all those paid away and done, and then you get your plates. And so that way you don't have to pay it all at one time.
Love a good payment plan.
How do you think we get to do all the things we do? We travel, we go to all these places. It's called PayPal Pay in 4, baby. That's the only way we get to do these things is because of a payment plan. So gotta love that option. It's a great option. So again, go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks. You can actually get a $50 rebate. Takes a few minutes and you're done. So go get you some My Plates. The other way to get some SFA gear and to support your two favorite podcasters over here in front of you is to go to our website and go shop in our merch store. So it ended yesterday, but we had a sale going on for 15% off and free shipping. I'm going to try to wiggle and finagle one more deal before the holidays. Really kick off. That way you can get some more Christmas shopping in. But for now, if you go to our website, which you can access in any of the locations on our podcast hosting, on our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, our YouTube, you can go to our website and you can go shop our store and check out all the cool things we have on there for SFA basketball, for just SFA in general. We have all these really cool designs. You can get t-shirts, you can get bags, you can get hoodies, you can get tank tops, you can get just a bunch of stuff. You can get backpacks, you can get pillows, buttons, toys, stickers, magnets, socks. I mean, the list is endless. So go on there, shop our merch, get you some Giant Killers merch, get you some Nacogdoches merch, get some Sawmill stuff, get some Press U stuff. It's all on there. And right now, if you order, you can get it before Christmas. So it is the perfect opportunity to order some really cool SFA gear and merch for a Christmas present.
Christmas shopping done.
And plus, the money goes to help our travel budget. So,
or SFA Athletics if you get the plates.
That's right. So if you want to see us go to Orem, Utah, go buy some t-shirts so we can pay to go to Orem, Utah. Anyway, thank you again, everyone, for supporting us and watching this or listening. We love you all so much. It's going to be a long day. Got to wrap it up because I got to go get dressed and get my life together. But we got this, Jax. We got it. 5:00 tonight.
Yeah.
ACU. We got it. We're going to come back. We're going to get our mojo back. We're going to get our groove back. This is how Stella got her groove back. Right here. Let's get it going. So, Jax, I hope you have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks, my love. Yeah. So, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Kick some ass, Jax. And as always, act some Jax.
With Alex and Jax.